Welcome back to another NBA 2K17 rebuild. Today we are rebuilding the Houston Rockets, another team that I feel like is just it could be an 8 seed in the Western Conference, or it could possibly be out of the playoffs. Who knows with this Houston Rockets team, because they've overpaid a lot of players in my opinion, and we'll see what we do with those said players. Let's auto-generate the rookies and take a look at the contracts for this team. Obviously, James Harden, he's a top 10 player in the league currently. And then our second highest paid player is Ryan Anderson, and then Eric Gordon. What I'm going to try to do is, I don't get the acquisition of Eric Gordon. I don't get the signing with that. So we're going to try to trade away Eric Gordon, maybe Ryan Anderson if we get anything for him. I mean, he's almost getting paid $20 million a year. So that's absolutely crazy to think about. But we need a point guard to go alongside with James Harden that isn't Patrick Beverley. I feel like we could upgrade at Patrick Beverley, because I mean, he's a defensive point guard, but he's really nothing else. I mean, we could get some pretty good point guards, and I want a point guard for the future. I want a point guard that is under contract. We could get Chris Dunn. I'm not sure if the Timberwolves would be willing to give him up. I'm looking at guys like Brandon Knight, who are realistic considering the Suns do want to trade him. Not Drew Holiday, maybe Reggie Jackson or Kemba. But they're under pretty big contracts, so I think we're gonna settle with Brandon Knight, and we'll give up Eric Gordon for sure. I'll try to cook something up here. I like this trade right here. You know, we dump some salary with Eric Gordon, Patrick Beverley. Then we get guys like Brandon Knight and Allen Williams, who is an expiring contract and very, very low contract. We're trying to build upon the cap room that we do have, considering we're not going to be able to sign anybody in free agency with Eric Gordon and Ryan Anderson. So I feel like, oh, they took it. I like it. Let's see if we need to do one more trade. So I was able to cook this up in a trade finder, and then I adjusted it a little bit. We give up Pablo Prigioni, Corey Brewer, who's drastically fell off the face of the planet, and Nene for Frank Kaminsky, who could be a future player, and Ramon Sessions, who could be a better backup than Pablo Prigioni is. And you know, nothing really major here. We just dump a salary such as Corey Brewer. Let's see if they take it. They want some picks. I wouldn't mind giving them a few picks here. We'll give them this 2017 pick as well, and they agree. There we go. All they wanted was some picks, and that was able to happen. Now let's go to the coaching settings and see what we got to work with. We got Brandon Knight, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, and Clint Capella. On paper, this team should go to the NBA playoffs. I don't know how far it will go, but I like the starting five. We're going to try to keep Ryan Anderson for one season just to see what he does. But we got the Wisconsin boys back on the team with Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker. We'll see how well that goes. We got a lot of big men, but we're going to start simulating games and see what happens with this roster. So coming down to trade deadline, we are not a 500 team. Let's see if we win against this Heat, and we do. 28 wins, 30 losses. I'm going to check a look at this roster. We have an injury at hand. Clint Capella out 4 to 6 weeks, and it kind of sucks considering we don't have any other center to back him up. Maybe that Nene trade wasn't really necessary. Maybe we could have gave away Montejunas or something along those lines, but I like Montejunas. Wow, we have another injury with Michael Beasley. This team got some injuries this first season, which I feel like were possibly the reason why we were a 28-30 team. The injuries seem to be a big factor with this MyLEAGUE. A lot of you guys said to turn down or just turn off completely the injuries, but you know, I like the injuries. It makes you have to play through adversity and make you having to just build up a bench, because if I wanted to, I could make this super team and be unrealistic about it, but I try to keep this as realistic as possible, even though, you know, some trades may not be as realistic. I just try to keep this team balanced, and all these rebuilds that I do will be a balanced team for the most part. I won't be doing anything crazy like trading away my whole team in the first year, but we're starting to win, and we did end up winning with the above 500 records, so that's good. MVP Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons, Rookie of the Year. Okay, Jokic, improved player. Wow. Okay. Moment of truth, are we in the playoffs? I wasn't really paying attention to that. I probably should have. But we are the 7th seed going up against the San Antonio Spurs. And we have some more injuries. Oh, man. Brandon Knight, 1 to 2 weeks. Montejunas recovering from an injury. I don't see ourselves getting out of the first round, but we'll simulate current round. If we do, it'd be a miracle considering they are the San Antonio Spurs. But we're putting up a fight, then we managed to get out in 6, not advancing out of the first round. But next year we'll be a higher seed, and hopefully we'll be able to win the Houston Rockets a championship in the second year. That's usually how it goes. So at the end of free agency, we were able to sign a few players. Our point guard position is now completely stacked, if I do say so myself. We got Brandon Knight, the starting point guard. Then we got a nice 6-man Darren Williams, Norris Cole, and then Jonathan Gibson. Our shooting guard position, you know, James Harden. We don't need that much backup for him, considering all the point guards we already do have. KJ McDaniels was able to re-sign. Trevor Ariza's still there, unfortunately. Sam Decker's improving. Ryan Anderson, Monsiunas, Michael Beasley, Montrezl Harrell, Alan Williams accepts the qualifying offer. I think we have a full roster, if not a little bit more than that, it seems like. So let's start simulating some games in the second season up to trade deadline, see what the record is, because I feel like this team is in a good position moving forward, and we will be higher than the 7th seed as we take some early L's, man. Things are not looking so good to start off. Trade deadline is coming up, and we already have a better record than last year. We have 34 wins and 23 losses. Last year we had 28 wins. So that's good. That's good to see an improvement. Let's just take a look at our roster like we normally do to see if we have any injuries. And of course we have the injury, man. These injuries just get more and more prominent. We got 2. Wow. Clint Capella is out for the season. So we're not going to mess with this team. We're going to see what Frank Kaminsky is able to do with this team, considering Clint Capella was like a 77, 78. So maybe Frank Kaminsky, by playoffs, he could reach that 77 or 78 rating, so that way we won't have to do a trade, because there's not really a team that would interest me in a trade. So we're going to keep the roster as is. If we get knocked out in the first round, I would just hope we're a higher seed than we were last season, because look at our record. We ended up starting to win, even with Clint Capella out for the season. So it's kind of weird. Maybe Frank Kaminsky made us a better team, because we won 2 games in a row right there. And then we keep winning now. And last 2 games, and I believe we're the 3rd seed in the Western Conference without Clint Capella for the entire season almost. That's absolutely crazy considering he was a big part of the roster. LeBron James, MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved. Dennis Schroeder, that's an interesting one. Let's see who our opponent is, rather, because we know we made a play. Hey, this is Spurs. Okay. Spurs are our first opponent. And we have some more injuries, man. I can see why you guys tell me to turn off injuries, or at least lower. I think there's a level that you could like tune up and down or whatnot to make the injuries less frequent, because it's not cool that Clint Capella is out for the season, and then essentially our second best player behind Brandon Knight, Ryan Anderson, is out as well for the first week or 2 of the playoffs. If we could last throughout the playoffs, I'd hope so. Spurs win game 1, and they also win game 2. Come on, we have James Harden on the team, though. We lost game 3, man. We hung on by winning game 4. It doesn't look that good for us, though. But we're winning games. Can we pull off? No, we can't. We lose in 6 again, 2 years in a row, due to injury. I can see why you guys tell me to turn off injuries, and if enough of you guys want me to, I would be more than happy to do so. But I feel like it's not realistic, because a lot of my players wouldn't be this hurt. I mean, come playoff time, there's a lot of teams with injuries and they play through it. But I feel like in 2K, if they're taking my guys out for an entire season like that, it's gonna be pretty hard to win a championship. I don't know, man. I feel like the injuries play a challenge in the rebuilding part, because my past 2 rebuildings, they weren't this bad. Like, guys weren't going out for the season, but you know, it's kind of like a random generator, and it just generates these random numbers that I have no idea what they mean, and they pick who and what player on a team gets injured, and the rarity of that said injury. So I like it. I like the challenge, and now we're in a do or die situation where we have to win a championship in this 3rd season. I'm pretty sure we could get it done unless another major injury happens. So with the whole injury thing, we're trying to make a splash in the offseason. We didn't really sign anybody game-changing. And I have this trade cooked up right here, and I'm going to see if the Cavs are able to accept it for Kevin Love. and Ryan Anderson and Monty Eunice. I feel like this would help the Cavs in real life, and this could possibly help out the Rockets in real life as well. And especially in 2K, I want to see if we're not giving up too much. If we can, I would just love to do this straight up right here. And moment of truth, no. Oh, they want to. What? Why didn't you just say so? Of course, I'd give you a first round pick. That's not really important to me. So going into the third season, the final season of the rebuild, this is what our team looks like. We'll probably switch and trade one of these point guards. I don't even remember signing this dude. But I like this roster now that we have Kevin Love. We traded him for Ryan Anderson in the offseason. I feel like, he's an improvement, overall improvement. He's only a 1-year contract, and hopefully he's able to get us to the championship and help us win. Because, he didn't help the Cavs win, but we might have to do something with this center. Like, our positions are really stacked right now, so I'm definitely going to have to find out what I want to do. Because I need a small forward. Like, we have no... Oh man, Jeremy Grant is our starting small forward, and that's pretty unfortunate. So I'll definitely be doing a few trades in the third season and try to even out the starting five for sure, because we have a lot of depth. So we find this trade for the San Antonio Spurs, which might be the only trade we have to do in the third season to be a playoff contending team. We lose Darren Williams, who's getting older, KJ McDaniels, who didn't really do anything for this organization, Michael Beasley, who's been there. But I feel like just looking at the overall wise, Pau Gasol would go perfectly with Kevin Love. And then we also have a lot of amazing depth at that center position in Gorgui Dieng, Clint Capella, etc. And DeJounte Murray could finally be a good backup for James Harden. That isn't KJ McDaniels. So let's see if they accept this trade, and they do. Let's take a look at the roster now. I like it now that we have a 13-man squad. We'll probably move DeJounte Murray right now to the shooting guard position. Hopefully his overall goes up. I would assume it does. I'd hope it doesn't go down. And now let's stay the same. Cool. So this is what the roster looks like going into the third season. That Pau Gasol trade really helped this team, if I do say so myself. He'll probably not be starting by the end of the season because his overall will most likely go down with all the centers that we already do have. We got a lot of bigs, not a lot of small forwards, so hopefully that doesn't cause us a problem. But we'll fix that problem at trade deadline if it does occur. So let's start simulating, and fingers crossed that we're able to have, I don't remember our first or second season record. I think it might have been 34. Let's hope we get more than that, and it does not look good the first 2 games. The trade deadline's coming up, and we already have a better record than we did the second season, I do believe. With 34 wins, now we have 38. We keep improving. Let's take a look at the roster. And James Harden, man. These injuries are no joke. I see. Wow, Pau Gasol. Oh, never mind. I thought he went up to an 82. That's Kevin Love. But surprisingly, Pau Gasol hasn't declined yet, which is really surprising. And we do have an injury. We have multiple. Man, come on with these season-ending injuries, 2K. Let's just keep going on, and hopefully no other player gets hurt, because we were doing really good. And then all of a sudden, Frank Kaminsky goes out for the season, and he was probably this season a big factor, just like Clint Capella was last season. Luckily, he wasn't starting for our team like Clint Capella was, but it sucks to see that, and I'm not sure when he got injured during that first half, but we're still able to win without him, and that's an important thing considering Pau Gasol, Kevin Love are healthy, and as long as those 2 guys are healthy, we should have a fighting chance in the playoffs. As long as none of our starters go down, we should be good. So MVP once again, you know who it is. LeBron James, Victor Oladipo with the Knicks, okay. Defensive Player of the Year, Karl Towns, Most Improved, okay. Brad Stevens is with the Warriors, that's weird, but we're the 3rd seed. I believe last season we were the 3rd seed as well when we looked at, oh, fingers crossed. Oh my god, Kevin Love. Kevin Love's out. Kevin Love's out. Alright, please don't be out for the season. 4 to 6 weeks. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh man, 2K does not like me, that's for sure. I guess Powell is going to be playing that their power forward position, so let's switch him to the power forward position because Kevin Love's going to be out unless we make it to the finals. He's going to be out until the finals, it looks like, or maybe even the Western Conference. So let's move Powell to the power forward position. He actually gains an overall. Thank you, base god. But It's not looking good, man. Not again. Not like this. Dejounte Murray's going up in overall, so that's good. But let's hope we could beat this Utah Jazz team. I mean, we still have a solid starting five, and we win the second one. I think Powell. Luckily, we had Powell, who's a versatile big, and he's still like really good in 2K in the third season. I thought he'd be declining by now, but no, he hasn't, surprisingly. As long as nobody else gets injured, we should have a fighting chance of making the finals. We win the first game. Portland win the second. We win the third. We win the fourth. We win the fifth. All right. So now going up against the #1 seeded Golden State Warriors. Kevin Love really needs to get her. Oh my God, dude. Kevin Love, we traded for you, Kevin Love. We thought you were supposed to be better than Ryan Anderson, and you know, I don't know if that was true or not. And the Warriors win the first. Going into the second game, we win that. I really hope Kevin Love is able to return. We win the third. We win the fourth. Wow. Okay. Can we win the last one? No, we don't. Uh-oh. Ooh, no, not like this. Not like this. Kevin Love, please tell me you're ready for... Oh, he is. He is. He's ready for big time minutes. I don't know if I want to switch Pau Gasol back to center. DeJounte Murray. Oh my God, he's out for the season too, dude. What's up with our players going out for the season? I don't understand this, 2K. Last game, and we were able to beat the Golden State Warriors to go to the Miami Heat. This roster, dude. I'm happy that Kevin Love was able to come back just in time for Game 7. But unfortunately, dude, like our good role players are going out. Like if these role players didn't go out, we would be sweeping teams, in my opinion. I know we rarely ever sweep teams, but look, 5-5, and then going up against 7 against the Warriors. Now going up against the Miami Heat, who we should have a whole lot better matchup. Oh wow, did somebody else get hurt? We lost 2 in a row. Nobody's hurt though. Like what? Okay, I probably should check who do the Heat have. Chandler Parsons, Chris Bosh. Okay. Okay. Simulate this game. We're able to win that. And oof, 6 games to win an NBA championship for this Houston Rockets team. James Harden, man, 92 overall. Wow. He gained some 2 points in the 3 seasons that we were able to do. So that is the Houston Rockets rebuild. We were finally able to win this Houston Rockets team a championship in the 3rd season, even with major injuries. I see why you guys tell me to turn off injuries. If enough people want it, I'll be more than happy to maybe dim it down a little bit. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you in the next one.